And hello visuals, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, the day of the week where we're going to sit back, strap on our seatbelts. I couldn't remember the word for fucking seatbelts, well 2 words actually. Take a look at like what really was going down in Dexter's laboratory. Like what was that bro cooking? What was my man Dexter really wanting to cook? There was some weird shit going on in Dexter's lab. Once again, I got you. Dan's really funny. I've tricked you here to talk about Pokemon, but more specifically, to continue with a lot of list stuff that we've been doing. Favorite this, favorite that, gen this, pseudo that, starter this. We're going to count down every single Pokemon type and go from my least favorite to my favorite Pokemon type. It's not including any Pokemon, whatever. It's just the type as it's on its own. And yeah, and what, Dan? That was it. Other elements or hidden lasers video, we're just going to count down my favourite Pokemon types. And that's literally it. About the Pokemon news we just recently got as well, visuals, how happy are you about that? At the time of recording, we literally got the announcement for everything that's Pokemon, you know, the new Legends game and stuff that we're getting. We only got that news yesterday at the time of recording. I'll save actual proper breakdown videos for all the proper Poketubers, not the morons that sit down and just, my favourite Pikachu. The proper Poketubers can break it all down for you. Excited, I think it's going to be fucking awesome. I'm glad we're getting another Legends game. I'm very, do you know what the biggest takeaway for me actually, to be fair, for that, because I thought, you know what, we could record that for the video, for the channel. We could record that for the video. Pokemon TCG stuff. I'm not usually a big fan of like TCG related stuff, like, you know, NFTs and all that kind of carry on, having it all just on a digital device. Like if I want to collect shit, I physically want it in my hand. But I looked at that and thought, that might be kind of cool, especially with the battle element and whatnot. So I'm going to look into that when it's out anyway. So that could take a lot of our time. You get 2 packets a day apparently for free. Fingers crossed I don't sit there and spend loads of money on it, because Jesus fucking Christ, it's something I would do and I haven't got loads of money. But anyway, sorry, we're here to talk about Pokemon Thursday and we're here to talk about my favourite Pokemon types. It might be a long video because there's a lot of types to count down. So let's just get crack-a-lacking. My favourite Pokemon types from least favourite to favourite. Kicking us off at number 18 is the fairy typing. I don't know what it is with fairy types, but I very rarely use them. There's not that many fairy types I absolutely adore. Yes, we've got some of the legendary classics like the Jigglypuffs of the world and the Clefairies and all that. Sylveon's awesome, great evolution. I don't know why Gramble's now a fairy. Yeah, there's some fairy types that pop up and I think myself, okay, why are you a fairy? And yeah, I don't know, it's since when it first announced it, I thought, okay, pretty cool typing. And then the more I got to know it and the more I got to see it in certain like Florgress and that, I was thinking that, because, you know, I don't really like you anymore. I like Sylveon, I like 1 or 2 others, but I don't really like you anymore. So yeah, my least favourite's the fairy typing. 17 is ice. Now there's a lot of ice type Pokemon I've used countless times. There's a lot of ice type Pokemon that I have as my favourite Pokemon, such as like a Lapras and whatnot. But the ice type in general as a whole, I've always seen it as a, not so much pointless. Yes, it can fuck up grass. Yes, it can fuck up dragons. Yes, it can fuck up flyings and whatnot. It's not the same as water, but when I was a kid, first starting Pokemon, I always saw it as the same as water. You know, when you're first getting used to Pokemon and who's good against who and what type's best and types are weak to stuff and whatnot. I always thought, what's the point of water and ice? It's pretty much the same thing. Just one's in a solid form, one's in a liquid form. Ice is a solid, isn't it? Even though it's made up of liquid. Whatever. And it always just seemed a bit pointless to me. And again, just like Fairy, it's not very often, unless it's like a Lapras or something, where I will actually go out and get an ice type. And quite often as well, I'll have an ice type due to it being its second type of something, like a Lapras. Or is that Lapras ice water? No, it's water, right? Either way, if it's just like an extra type, and I'll pick up a Pokemon because it's this and ice, or ice and this. And yeah, it's always just felt like a bit of a weird type, and one that's never really inspired me, or like, oh, you know, like electric, ground, fire, ice. Okay, I just, as soon as even saying it there, I just saw ice getting put into a Coke cup and just think, yeah, it's not very epic for me. 16 is normal. Now, there is so many normal Pokemon that I adore. Snorlax, my favourite Pokemon of all time, is also a normal typing. It's just a typing that I've never understood, because it's the fact that it's normal. It's just normal. Like, we're in a world of Pokemon and elements. You're psychic, you're ghost, you're fairy, you're whatever. And then you come along, I'm normal. Yes, granted, it has it's got one weakness, fighting type, and it's not super effective against anything, but a lot of normal type Pokemon, is like a Snorlax one that can use a lot of different typings. Like, what is the point in making, like, Pyro? Why did they make that fire normal, or normal, whichever way it goes? Why not just make it a cool fire lion and leave it at that? Why, who else have we got? Oranguru, why normal psychic? Why can't you just make it psychic? Like, I don't know, it literally, to me, adds nothing bar an extra weakness when they add it. And when it's just a single type, like, I know some people are synonymous with it now, like a Ditto, I guess, or like a Snorlax, an Eevee. But it just seemed like, Eevee I actually understand, because it's from normal, then what's going to happen next? We having a water, we having a fire, what is it? I just always thought it was a bit of a basic bitch. Like, why can't we have the regional birds just flying? Why does it have to be flying and normal, or normal and flying? Like, why do we... Drampa. Why, call us an old granddad dragon. He's normal as well. Like, it just sounds weird and boring, but it's a type that comes with a lot of Pokemon I adore. That's why it's not my least favourite. But yeah, normal. Number 15 is the dark typing. Now, I don't know what it is with the dark. I like the dark type, and it's pretty cool. You know, darkness is your ally. But there's always been something about it where I'm very much like, okay, if I want the more mystical, scary, sort of paranormally typings, I want to go psychic. I want to go ghost. I want to go bug, like for spooky, scary, and whatnot. Just to be dark. It's like what type are you? Knock the light off. Dude, that's me, I'm not typing. I don't know, it just kind of also doesn't inspire much, but just like the normal typing, it does also come with a lot of really, really cool Pokemon. I'm talking the Houndooms of the world, I'm talking the Darkrai's and that of the world. There are a lot of really great dark type Pokemon, but yeah, it's just another typing that just sort of makes me think, okay, turn the lights off, I'm that. 14, right, this is actually quite hard now, because I do actually really like... I like all typings, apart from maybe Fairy. I'm okay Fairy. But yeah, next up it's Poison. And I really, really, really like the Poison type. I think this one's so low down because it was always a type as a kid I never really went for. I was never really drawn to the Poison type. The Pokemon I were, but the typing. I always wanted to cover my fundamentals, an electric type, a fire, a water, a grass, a flying type. And then I was like, okay, my next type, what should it be? Should we go for a rock, a ground, a dragon? But when I was like, should we make our last sort of type in a poison? This is just how I laid out the teams when I was younger. It's a lot different now, obviously. And yeah, and it just never really stood massively out to us. It never thought, oh, okay, it's poison. I was like, yeah, I like poison. Muck's really cool and amazing. You know, the Ghastly and Haunter and Gengar, absolutely epic. But, you know, I don't really fancy having the poison type. It was always a weird little kid thing for me, but yeah, poison. Ground type for number 13. Now, I really like the ground type. A lot of awesome Pokemon come from the ground typing, but I always saw the ground type as the little brother to the rock type. If it's out of the rock typing and the ground typing, I always felt a bit more drawn to the rock side of things. I know they're not really comparing the two in ground, super effective to rock and whatnot. But like, you know, when you think of like an Onix and you think, oh, amazing, badass rock Pokemon. Oh, it's part ground. Okay. And then you go, okay, so what about something else? Oh, gravel. Oh, it's part ground. And then when they started just doing pure rock types, I'm thinking, oh, I could do with this, you know. And I know Tyranitar's dark as well, but like this solid rock form or a Gigalith and whatnot like that. I don't know, I was always more drawn to just a solid rock Pokemon. A Lycanroc. I fucking adore the fact that it's just a rock wolf Pokemon. That's always absolutely fascinated me. But see, yeah, the ground typing's always been awesome and amazing, and a lot of ground moves are absolutely amazing and awesome. Earthquakes of the world and whatnot. But yeah, it just I don't want to sit and say so many times are basic bitches, but yet again, it is another sort of typing where it leaves a bit more to be desired. Like, what type are you? What you stood on? I don't know. It just doesn't hit as hard as rock for me. And like I said, I always compare the two side by side. I always have, and I don't know why, but that's ground typing. Next up, it's psychic. And now this one, I definitely think is some sort of weird PTSD from being a kid, from how badass psychic types were in, like, even in seeing in the anime for the first time, how badass Sabrina and that was with her psychic types. But always coming up against a psychic type, be like, oh my god, Mewtwo, psychic. Like, from when I was younger, the legendary typing for me always felt like the psychic type. Yes, I know we had a Dragonite in there, the only dragons in Gen 1, but it was the psychic types that felt like it was the, oh my god, that's the legendary type, and it's a psychic, it can do anything, it can do everything, and whatever it wants, and it always fairly scared us, so I was always sort of like, I don't know, it should draw me to it, but I was always drawn away from it, thinking, I can't be bothered dealing with that psychic shit, or this mental crazy shenanigans. I don't know, it's some weird fucked up Kid Dan PTSD shit. So I think it's Kid Dan suppressing that and putting it further down the list, because once again, it's an awesome typing, which comes with some awesome moves and some awesome Pokemon inside of it. Like I said, the Alakazams of the world are just absolute phenomenal. Everybody loves a good Alakazam and whatnot. Or we can go take it. Again, I mentioned it before in the normal type, I love Oranguru. Oranguru is absolutely awesome. There's a lot of great Alolan Raichu. There's a lot of great psychic types, and I think it's being punished a bit harshly by my stupid brain. 11 is Dragon. Dragon is an awesome, awesome typing. There's so many badass dragons. But I've never been as in awe of it, I guess maybe as some people may be. Like, I was always drawn to, like, the traditional typings of the grass, the electric, the water, the fire, all that kind of stuff. But although I do absolutely love a dragon typing, and there's a lot of mixed types dragons out there, like, I love Flapple, I love Appleton, then we've also the other side of things, like Turtonator, I absolutely adore Turtonator, Garchomp's amazing, Flygon, there's so many beautiful dragons with mixed typings and whatnot, but I've never been as enamoured and like, oh my god, it's the almighty dragons, bow your heads to the most powerful typing and all this stuff. I've always really liked it, I've always thought it was cool, but it's definitely like I love dragon types more like I love dragon types. Soft love. This is where I was getting really stuck on how to rank all these, because I really adore the rest of these. We'll stick with the original list though, but next up it's number 10, and it is electric typing. What is not to love about the electric type? Once again, to be fair, like every type, apart from for me, for Fairy, so many awesome mons, but electric type was it was one of, not the earliest, but like one of the early elements we really explored, because we had, obviously if you're watching the anime and you've got Pikachu doing all kinds of different electric moves and whatnot, and then the electric typing for me was always synonymous with Ash, purely because of Pikachu. I always felt if Ash was a gym type leader, it would be Pikachu, just because that's what he would be to build his team around and whatnot. Obviously that wouldn't be the case. He's always had a very different Pokemon. In fact, electric Pokemon is the least amount of Pokemon he's ever had, because he's always had Pikachu. He's never needed another electric type. But I love electric types. I love the electric type Pokemon we get. I love the evolutionary lines we get inside of the electric types. I love the Pikachu electric type clones we get. I love the cross electric flying we may have with Kilowattrel and stuff. I really like electric type. I'm sorry that it just broke the top 10. Next up is Ghost. Now this is where we will get into some real creative Pokemon shenanigans. Just like the dragon typings of Gen 1, the Ghastly and Gengar and Haunter boys were very much legendary in their own rights, because they were the only ghost types. But I always used to remember playing and being super enamoured and super in awe and super like, it's ghost type. There's a typing of ghosts, because that then added an extra element to the world of Pokemon. Okay, if there's a typing of ghosts, does that mean there's a spirit world in the world of Pokemon? And obviously, as we found out, there is like graveyards and whatnot. This is young Dan talking, and finding out what else we get there. Can we then interact with these spirits? Of course, again, we do with Silphco and short kind of shit, with the thingy lens. I don't know, add an extra wave of thought and intrigue and interest inside of the world of Pokemon for me. Being just, instead of just being I'm a rock, or I'm a leaf, it added an extra layer of Pokemon thinking and theorizing and lore building for me. So the ghost typing. But 8 is the fighting type. It's hard not to love the fighting type. It's again, you could argue it's a bit of a basic type move, because every Pokemon in their own right fights. Bulbasaur is fighting when it's using fucking Razor Leaf. Charmander is fighting when it's using an Ember or whatever. But the actual fighting type, like, it's a type that's purely bred, I am here to have a scrap and to have a fight. And a lot of the Pokemon that come with it are just like looking at these. Like, if you were to have an MMA world, a UFC world of Pokemon and put all the fighting types in it, you could see it playing out. Hitmontop going up against the likes of a Machamp, a fucking Conkeldurr or a Timber, as disgusting as they are, fucking going up against a Sork or a Fro. Just seeing all these different fighting combinations. Oh, he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He's a fucking karate black belt or whatever it is. I don't know. I love that. This element of genuine fighting, a bunch of lads or lasses in a gym, but hitting the punch bag and stuff and doing a thing. Welcome to my fighting gym. Here we fucking fight, son. And getting down to the brass tacks, getting down to business. I always had fun with the fighting types. 7 is Bug. Now this type will always be heavy on my heart, I think, because there's always an early Bug Pokemon. There's always an early route Bug, regional Bug in every single game. And in one time or another, they would have always played a key component in your team, whether it be for the first few gyms or you took them all the way to your respective Pokemon leagues. You usually, in some way, shape or form, always interact with the early stage Bug. And because of that very reason, I fell in love with Bugs. But also another Pokemon come along called Heracross, who made me fall in love with Bugs even fucking more. I adore Heracross. Like I said, once I've said that I've got him tattooed. He's my second favourite Pokemon. Absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful. So it's the Bug typing. Number 6 is the Water typing, and I just fucking love. Right, water is my biggest fear, but it's also one of my biggest interests and fascinations. I would love to explore and see what's going under the water, but at the same time, I wouldn't. It's fucking disgusting because when you're down there in the depths, in the dark, and things like that, fuck off, it's scary. But when you see it in the world of Pokemon, like the newest, Pokemon Snap, the new one, and you go around and there's like, you can try and unlock Lugia and you see all this cool shit, or even the little water bits with Milotic when you're in the forest. I think it's a foresty bit. So many cool little water things, and the world of Pokemon underneath the water is absolutely fantastic, filled with so much life and beautiful over-the-top creatures and things and everything going on down there. Even the story of like Groudon, Kyogre, and exploring the oceans of Hoenn and stuff, even though there was too much water in the Hoenn games for me. Old me, we'll bring it back up. But yeah, I love the water type and I love the water aspect. Whenever I think of an adventure or a journey, I always see like a woodlandy, foresty place with a water and a stream and a great lake and all that kind of stuff. I fucking love the water typings. Stop, it is Fire. There's not much to say about Fire. Fire is definitely one of the most badass typings. It's probably maybe the most popular typing purely because most Fire starters are the most popular. The Charmanders and the Cyndaquils and that of the world. I don't know, I'm just guessing that there. I could be wrong. But it's definitely a popular typing. But it was always my least favourite out of the starters. But I prefer it overall to waters, if that makes sense. So when it just comes out of the starters, I would always usually go grass, then fire, then water. But in the overall thing, like World of Pokemon, I love looking more for a water type than I do a fire type, which is some really backward thinking that kind of doesn't make sense. I understand that, but that's how my fucking stupid brain works. But the fire typing's amazing. I don't need to speak about the Pokemon that come along with the fire typing, the amount of badass moves and whatnot. The reliability of a lot of fire Pokemon as well is a huge benefactor for this. But the fire typing is just mwah. Next up, it is Steel, and I friggin'... Once again, right, this is where I probably contradict myself. It's just, what type are you? Bit of metal. I understand I've used that argument to downgrade some types and I've used that argument to elevate it. But when I think of Steel Pokemon, I don't know, I see artwork from Gen 2, the introduction of Steelix, Scizor, turning Magnemite and Magneton into Steel and that, and it just, I don't know, I look at the Steel typing, I look at it being a new typing. I know the Dark didn't do the same for us and I don't know why, but I look at the Steel typing and I look at a time in my head when we were just crossing into Gen 2 and all the promo stuff was coming out, even like the shine on Pokemon Silver Box and whatnot, and exploring what the Steel type is, getting a Fortress, oh my, Steel Bug Boy, I don't know, I just fall in love with this badass, and because it was metal, and when you think of Steel, you think indestructible, nothing could fuck that up. It felt like if I had a Steel on my team, again, once again, younger Dan teams, like I was invincible, nothing could stop me, you know, because you think of Superman, Man of Steel, you're unbreakable, unbendable, undestroyable. I thought the exact same. I thought I was King Dick. I thought I was the most powerful trainer in the entire world because I had a Steel, not realising and not really paying much attention to somebody that can chuck a punch or somebody that can make a little fireball fuck us up. So yeah, but anyway, I love the Steel typing. Said it before, and rock, and I said before, it's just a rock. But once again, kind of a little bit like water typing, the rock typing for me feels like it's an extra layer and an extra adventure in the world of Pokemon, and the terrain of Pokemon, and the layout and the landscapes and everything. Like, you can be walking across a volcano or walking across wherever, and there's these rocks that will come to life, and most rock type Pokemon have like this aura and this demeanor around them. Like, Rhydon, for me, being one of the most pinnacle god tier Pokemon designs ever. I love Rhyhorn and Rhydon so much. I will, did I say Rhyperior before? I meant Rhyhorn and Rhydon. I will very, very, very rarely evolve into a Rhyperior. I like Rhyperior, and Rhyperior is awesome, but them two are just absolute cream of the crop. And I don't know, when I think of rock type, I feel like this extra supernatural wave of elemental Pokemon. Like I said, for me, the supernatural ones are the psychics out of the world, but these supernatural rocks that are coming alive like a Golurk's fucking ground, like a Lichen Rock, this werewolf that's in, like, it's got all this power and this, haunty sort of creaturey howling at the moon and whatnot. I'm a werewolf, Halloween, but yeah, it's rock. I don't know, it's a weird one for me. Like I said, there's just some ultimate designs that come along with the rock typing. Tyranitar being Godzilla, oh, fucking beautiful little bastard. Like I said, the Rhyhorn and the Rhydon shenanigans. My mouth waters when I think about them Pokemon. All I want to do now, speaking about them, is start a new adventure on an early Pokemon game and get a Rhyhorn and a Rhydon and all that shit. And, oh, they're just so fucking fantastic and amazing. Heading on, I love Gigalith and stuff so much. I fucking love Gigalith so much. There are a couple of rocks that fall a bit flat, like Stonejourner is okay, I guess. But most rock types, most rock Pokemon are absolutely beautiful, and I just friggin' adore the thought and idea of a rock Pokemon. Making my mouth water now. This one was a hard one to do because I always and ah, but number 2, we're going to give to the flying type. Yes, my favourite Pokemon of all time is a flying type and a normal type, Pidgeotto, and I adore the flying type. Most often, there's always a flying type on my team, but not always, but most often. I love the flying types, these regal, elegant, majestic, larger-than-life creatures flying across the skies of Pokemon, whether it be a Tropius with its grass type component, or whether it be a regular Pidgeot, or a Fletchling, a fucking Talonflame, going around with its fire type, but all the elemental, the legendary birds, Moltres, Arcanine, Zapdos going around with their elemental powers and whatnot. It's just such an amazing type, and it's such a reliable type, and it's such a consistently needed type, especially in the early games if you had Fly and whatnot. Fly used to be one of my main OG moves. Anything I was battling, Fly. It doesn't matter if I was super effective or not, Fly. You've missed for a turn, boom, I hit you, Fly. It was just constantly Fly, and like I said, it was one of them typings as well. You would give a HM to, but with a move like Fly, you would always use, so it didn't seem a burden. Whereas, a few HMs you would give, I don't know, maybe you'd give your Blastoise Strength or whatever, and somebody would have Flash or some shit on them. And they always just felt like, oh, they're a bit in the way, I'm not really going to use them, but I need them. But yeah, I got my flying type, and he's got a HM move, and that's a move that I'm always going to use because Fly's a badass move. I love the flying type so fucking much. Finally, it's a grass type, and big shock, big hoo-ha, big wow. When I think Pokemon, and I think adventure, and I think journey, and I think what's going on, I instantly, my brain is drawn to lush, larger than life, sometimes a little bit creepy and eerie, but beautiful, amazing rainforests and jungles and woodlands and all that kind of stuff. To me, that's a Pokemon adventure. I don't know if that's because when I first started playing Pokemon, I was in a little village, and we were always in the fields and the woods and whatnot, but we'd always take our Game Boys or our Pokemon cards and that. And like that being in nature, playing these games where it involved Pokemon's harnessing the power of like nature and all that kind of shit and using their respective elemental moves. I don't know if I'm making some sort of weird connection in my brain there or what, but when I think of Pokemon, like, I love Pokemon in the vibrant cities. We got Lumino City coming back up with the legend stuff and whatnot. I love the big vibrant cities and whatnot, but I love the Pokemon adventure part where you're out of the city and you're in more of these routes and all. Like, the small little towns are cool to go through and all that kind of stuff. But I love being out and about in the open and the wild. That's why I think most people were drawn to Legends Arceus, being in this big, vast area of just lush woodlands and running rivers and all that kind of stuff. And just, I don't know. So yeah, the grass typing in a 1, plus it's my favourite starter typing and stuff like that anyway. Hashtag team grass, always and forever. But yes, my number 1 typing is the grass typing. Now the visuals, hopefully we haven't missed anybody off. We've done everything. We've done fairy, ice, normal, dark, ground, psychic, poison, electric, flying, dragon, ghost, bug, water, fire. I said fire twice now, don't forget. Steel, rock, flying, ghost. I think we've said everybody. But anyway, visuals, who gives a shit on what my favourite is? I want to know what your favourite typings are. Hopefully, I usually when I do lists like that, I'm coming up with all the reasons as to why and stuff like that. And because it's always hard for me to sometimes articulate my words because I'm a moron. Hopefully it made sense now. It was justified and put my list the way I put it. It's, to be fair as well, it's another one of them lists where you asked me to write it in a month's time. There might be a few spots changed, and this might be there. The consistent 2 will always be grass and flying will always be top 1 and top 2. Fairy will always be least favourite, but other types could move about. I probably said some contradictory stuff. I probably said some moronic stuff, but in my head, it all made sense. But like I said, visuals, I want to know your favourite typings. More importantly, apart from that, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. But remember to always keep being you and keep on keeping on.